Ladies and gentlemen, when the heat rises and everything around you begins to burn, don't ask God to pull you out. Ask Him to step in. Because the miracle isn't in escaping the fire, it's in surviving it with Him beside you. The fire is not a punishment. It's a process. When life begins to heat up and everything seems to fall apart, it's easy to believe that God has abandoned you. But the truth is, He's working in the very place you want to escape. The fire is where faith becomes real, where the surface is stripped away and only what's genuine remains. Just as gold must pass through intense heat to shine with purity, your soul must endure seasons of refining to reveal its true strength. God doesn't waste the fire. He uses it to prepare you for the weight of the purpose you've been praying for. Every flame has meaning, every trial a lesson. Sometimes, God allows the fire not to destroy you, but to show you that you're stronger than you thought, that He's closer than you realized. The pain you feel is not the end. It's the shaping. Growth rarely happens in comfort. It happens when we're tested, when the pressure builds, and when faith is all we have left to hold on to. The fire doesn't define you. It refines you. And when it's over, you'll understand that what once felt like suffering was actually grace in disguise, burning away your doubts, fears, and limitations. So, don't run from the fire. Stand in it with faith, because God is doing something in the heat that comfort could never accomplish. The fire is the birthplace of transformation, and on the other side, you'll come out unshaken and renewed. We often beg God to take us out of the storm, not realizing that His power is revealed when He walks with us through it. Sometimes the answer to your prayer isn't escape, it's endurance. God's greatest gift is not always deliverance, but His presence in the middle of chaos. When the fire rages and fear whispers that you're alone, that's when He steps closer. He doesn't stand outside the furnace shouting encouragement. He enters it with you. His presence doesn't always change the situation, but it changes you within it. The peace He brings doesn't depend on the absence of struggle. It thrives in the heart of it. That's how you know it's real. God doesn't always remove the pain, because the fire has a purpose. It's where your dependence on Him deepens and your trust matures. When you realize that He's beside you, even in the heat, the flames lose their power to consume you. The same God who guided others through impossible fires will not abandon you in yours. He's not silent, He's steady. You may not feel Him every moment, but He's there, strengthening your spirit, whispering courage into your fear, and holding you up when your strength runs out. So, stop looking for a way out, and start looking for the one who's already in it with you. His presence in the fire is greater than any rescue, because it turns the trial into holy ground. Faith is easy when everything is going right, but its true strength is proven when life falls apart. Real faith isn't measured by how loud you can praise in peace, but by how deeply you can trust in pain. When everything around you is uncertain and you still whisper, "God, I believe you," that's where true faith is born. Pressure doesn't destroy faith, it exposes it. It reveals whether your trust in God was based on comfort or conviction. In the silence of waiting and the sting of loss, your belief is tested, not to break you, but to strengthen what was fragile. God doesn't test faith to watch you fail. He tests it to prove that it's real. The fire shows what can't be seen in calm waters. When the pressure builds and you refuse to give up, heaven takes notice. Every tear, every unanswered prayer, every sleepless night becomes part of a deeper trust being formed inside you. You may not see the purpose yet, but God is shaping your heart to depend on Him more than on circumstances. The trials that were meant to shake your confidence become the very things that anchor your soul. So, when faith feels heavy and the fire grows fierce, remember, this is the proving ground of your belief. Stand firm. You're not being punished, you're being strengthened. And when you emerge from this, your faith will not only survive, it will shine brighter than it ever has before. The fire doesn't just test you, it transforms you. When God allows the heat to rise in your life, it's not to harm you. It's to remove what can't go with you into the next season. Some things only fall away in the flames. Fears you've carried too long, relationships that drain your peace, habits that keep you bound, and doubts that cloud your vision. The fire separates what's temporary from what's eternal. It burns away the excess until only what's pure remains. That's why certain people walk away when life gets hard, because they were never meant to stand with you in the heat. The fire reveals truth. It shows who you are and what you're made of. It sanctifies your heart, refines your motives, and strips away your dependence on anything other than God. Though it hurts, this process is sacred. What feels like loss is actually cleansing. The very things you think you're losing are often the things keeping you from growing. When the fire is done, you'll notice that you stand lighter, clearer, and freer. You'll realize that God didn't take from you, He purified you. You didn't burn down, you were built up. The fire that separated you from what was false has connected you more deeply to what's true. And when you step out, you'll see that the fire didn't destroy your identity, it revealed it. You are stronger, purer, and ready for what's next. You are never truly alone, even when everything in you feels abandoned. The silence of God is not the absence of God. When you walk through the fire and no one seems to understand, He is still right there beside you, closer than the flames, nearer than your pain. His presence isn't always loud or visible. Sometimes it's the quiet strength that keeps you standing when you thought you'd fall. The same God who walked into the furnace with 3 men in ancient times still steps into your fires today. You may not see Him, but you can feel the peace that doesn't make sense, the calm that shouldn't exist, and the hope that refuses to die. That's Him. The fire you're in doesn't mean He's distant. It's often the place where His presence becomes most real. Every tear you cry is seen, every ache is felt, every prayer is heard. God doesn't always shout over the flames. Sometimes He whispers through them, reminding you that His strength is carrying you. When you look back, you'll realize that the reason you didn't burn, the reason you didn't break, was because He was with you the entire time. His presence doesn't remove the fire, it redeems it. So, when it feels like you're surrounded, remember this truth: you're not standing in the fire alone. The one who holds the universe is holding you, and as long as He's there, no flame can consume you. When you come out of the fire, you won't look like what you've been through. The flames that tried to consume you will become the very reason you shine brighter. What once felt like destruction will reveal itself as transformation. You'll walk out stronger, wiser, and more anchored in faith than ever before. The heat that once terrified you will become your testimony. Proof that you were never alone. God never promised that you wouldn't face the fire. He promised that it wouldn't consume you. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt will become part of a story that inspires others to keep standing when their own fires rage. You'll carry the scent of victory, not smoke, because what burned away was never meant to stay. The bitterness, the fear, the shame, all left behind in the flames. What remains is pure strength, resilience, and peace that only comes from walking with God through the impossible. When people see you, they won't see someone who merely survived. They'll see someone transformed, refined by grace and fire. Your scars will speak of deliverance, not defeat. The very thing that tried to break you will be the reason others find hope. So, when the smoke clears and the fire dies down, lift your head. You made it through not because the fire was easy, but because you were never alone in it. And now, you carry the proof that even in the flames, God is faithful. So when the fire surrounds you, don't beg for escape. Stand still and watch. Because the very flame meant to break you will become the light that proves He was with you all along.